Hi, I'm Steve. This is How To in 5 and Reviews. And if you value the protection of your hands and you want a glove with a bit of style, then this video is probably for you. So the gloves I want to show you today are from a company called Fogy Garage. And if you're looking at that name and saying, well, that spells Fogy Garage, I've actually emailed the company to check the pronunciation, and it is Fogy Garage. As in Foggy and Garage. And these are handmade leather crafted gloves. They are just beautiful gloves. I've been using them now for about the last 2 months, and I thought it was worth doing a review. I've already had them out of the box. I've put them back in just for the filming side of things. But they come in this nice little bag, as you can see, Fogy Garage, and here are the gloves themselves. So I'll just sit that over there. And as you can see, I'll take that bit of paper out of there. They are beautifully handcrafted leather gloves, and the workmanship in these gloves is just very special. I got onto Fogy Garage's website just to have a look when I was hunting around for these gloves. And by the way, I am not being paid to do this review. These are just a good quality glove that I thought was worth showing to you, doing a review about. But I got onto their website. As I said, I'll list that in the description below their website, or you can just Google Fogy Garage, but only put one G in there, and had a look at the components that you need. And I'm looking down at my little list of components here. The components you need to make a pair of gloves. While I was hunting around on their website, I had a look at some of the machines they use. They use a lot of vintage machinery. Everything is handmade, which is great. And these are actually the saddlebags that they make, but there's an extended video on their website if you want to have a look at how it's done. Styling, of course, is subjective, and different people like the look of different things. I have wanted a pair of retro, aged leather look gloves for many, many years, and I have come across quite a few, but I haven't been able to find any with that CE certification. So I wasn't going to put my hands in them just in case. I'm not planning on falling off, but I don't think anyone ever is, are you? But it has taken me a long while to be able to find gloves of this quality, with this safety level, with the look that I like. Now, one of the first things I will look for in any gloves, as far as motorcycle gloves are concerned, is the CE certification. And you can see there, CE certification. And the certification has to meet EN 13594 from 2015. These are level 1 certified gloves. So if you're not familiar with that, that means the gloves, actually I'll show you a close up of that. And there is that certification in there, EN 13594 2015, and you can see they are level 1. That means the gloves have been tested and they meet a certification. So that's pull off. So if you were to come off and you slide down the road, they're not just going to pull straight off of your hands. They have to have a tear strength. The lining inside is Kevlar. A closer look at the Kevlar lining, you can see in there. Looks like it's got little wires or something that run through the Kevlar. But I noticed also in the paperwork that came with them that the thread itself, the whole thing is Kevlar sewing thread. So it's not just cotton put together with the Kevlar lining. The actual stitching, and you see how beautifully, hopefully that comes through on the camera. You can see how beautifully it is stitched, and I think that is what adds the strength to them. You can pull them in pretty well any direction. And if your gloves will not handle that, where you can pull them, they're probably not quality built gloves. They have abrasion resistance. Okay, so they have to pass an abrasion resistance test. It's a really important thing. These gloves are cowhide, they're proper leather gloves. So in the event that you were sliding down the road or whatever, you then have a Kevlar lining to absorb that abrasion. Hopefully it never happens. And we hope it never happens, but it does. And over the years that I've been riding, which is a lot of years now because I'm old, I have seen so many people damage their hands through either not wearing gloves or wearing poor quality gloves. What else is in the box? Well, they're the tags that were attached to the gloves. Little sample of the wired Kevlar. A little folder here. What's in that little folder? Tear it open. I haven't actually looked in here yet. I've had these gloves about 3 months, 2 and a bit months. Oh, okay, a few stickers that come with them if you're into stickers. So that's a good thing. You can pop those on your helmet or the back of your bike. We've just come out of spring into summer here in Oz. I rode these for the tail end of winter, or used these gloves rather. I've ridden them with them now through the entire spring and then into summer, which is where we are now. We had a 40-degree day here. That's a little over 100 Fahrenheit. It was pretty hot. They were fine. The coldest that I've used them is 10 degrees Celsius, around that 50 degrees Fahrenheit mark. I personally probably wouldn't want to go much less than about 10 degrees. I think on Fogy Garage's website, it says 5 degrees and up, but I'm a bit soft when it comes to cold hands. I wear my heated gloves. But look, they've been fine through the whole seasons. And as I said, I got them wet. 40 degrees on Sunday for the ride. I was starting to get pretty warm in them, but I think that would happen with any glove that still offers protection. I have a whole series of gloves, as you would imagine. I've been riding for many years. I've got Alpine Stars, Denise, Knox, BMW gloves. They are all great gloves. They all carry the CE certification. These are my Alpine Stars, and you can see the same deal. The certification tag is just inside the cuff. And they all cost a bit of money. But you get one pair of these hands, and if you mess up your hands, it makes life really hard. Even the simplest of tasks can be awkward. They've got these little vents in the fingers here, 2 on the forefinger, 2 on the finger next to it. And often when you see vents on gloves, they are not real, they're fake vents. Just looking in through those vent holes that are on those fingers there, you can see the Kevlar lining inside the little metal rings there. These do work. If you pop them on and you blow through there, you can feel the air coming through onto the finger. But interestingly enough, when I was doing the review on the CB750, I got caught in a really bad storm. I think I showed that on the video, a really bad storm. And I got drowned, and including the gloves, and no water came through the holes. When I pulled my hands out after the ride, they were completely dry. So I don't know how that works, but hey, it does. And an added bonus, when I did the recent review on the Himalayan, I did an overnight camping trip with it. And of course, when you're cooking and you're cooking things on the grill, etc., you can't use plastic or nylon style gloves. These being leather, you can take your stuff off the grill, you can boil up the billy and whatnot for a cup of tea, and of course they won't melt or burst into flames. And that's always a good thing. The whole glove, as we spoke about, is full cowhide leather, which is about as tough as you're going to get, isn't it? And but I notice also the cord itself is cowhide leather, and that's for pulling it in around your wrist. You can slide this little section up. That's a nice little brass, what would you call that? Well, it's not a turnbuckle, you don't turn it, do you? Pull buckle on there, but yeah, nice and stylish. And if you're wondering about the look of these gloves, the aged look, these don't look any different to when I started wearing them a couple of months ago. The aged look is put into the gloves when you get them from new. I guess the best way to have a look at just what Fogy Garage do have is look at their website. I got the Ursus Chief Gloves up on the top left there, but they've got all sorts of shapes and sizes of gloves. They've got boots, in fact, all sorts of motorcycling apparel. They've got saddle bags. It's all hand built, and I am really happy with these gloves. The jackets, they make a whole heap of jackets. Based on the quality and build of these gloves, I think the next thing I will be getting is the Desert Patrol jacket there that I've put the arrow on. And look, the easiest way to order from Fogy Garage is, of course, straight onto their website and do it as a mail order. TPU memory foam knuckle protection. So it's not, well, it's a foam knuckle protection. Actually, that's the left hand. I'll put that one on. So if you do come down and belt your knuckles, but it's not a hard plastic. And I guess, see, I can actually squeeze that. So it's some sort of foam in there, but it is a certified foam, so that's a good thing. I don't know how they mold that into the leather, but it looks good. Apparently that lining is also 99.9% antibacterial, and that's a good thing, especially if you're riding in summer and you're getting hot, sweaty hands. You generally take your gloves off and try to leave them like so, where they can air out, but you don't want bacteria building up in there. A bit of a closer look at how your watch sits down in under there. Now this section here, the impact protection in the palm, they call it Poron XRD, and it's called Extreme Impact Protection. I guess if you come down like so, you can see the palm protection section we were talking about here, and it looks like you've got a sheet of leather, then another sheet of leather sewn over the top of it, and then of course you've got the Kevlar lining inside. So that should offer a fair bit of protection. Well, it must do in order to pass that CE certification. But what I've found it does, and I recently did the review on, what was that, the Himalayan, Royal Enfield Himalayan. It's got quite a bit of absorption for vibration through the bars. I don't know how many layers of leather are there, but yeah, certainly looks good. What they've done with the leather work here is, it is amazing. These gloves are so soft, as in no matter how small your hand grips are on the bike, and I've been using these on my B52, which is the electric bike. I've been using them, as we said, on the dirt bike, road bikes. You can get your fingers wrapped right around the bar, and that's so important. I know with a lot of gloves that I've tried in the past, that when you're on the bar itself, especially if you're riding on rough roads where you need to have those fingers around the bar, so you may be forefinger and thumb around the bar and use those three on the clutch, or different people have different finger configurations. It allows you to put your fingers around the bar without getting tied. You know how the heavier gloves, they try and lift your fingers out, and then I see people relaxing on the bars and having the handlebar coming through like that. And of course, that's all well and good while you're going in a straight line and nothing happens. But if you need to react in a hurry, you should always have your fingers wrapped around either the throttle and on the clutch lever. So the softness, they're pliable. Is that a word with leather? And of course, one of the requirements with getting that CE certification is that the gloves are not supposed to slide off of your hands if you go sliding down the road or whatever. But of course, unless you want big buckles or Velcro straps, which on this style of glove just don't look right, what Fogy have done is made them quite... And I mean, as I said, I think I've been riding these things for 50 years now, is often you get gloves and when you get them wet, the dye will come out onto your hands and you start to get this black tinge on your hands. Certainly not going to happen here with the Kevlar lining, so that's good. I mean, I guess these gloves fit into the category of classic street gloves or retro gloves. In saying that, I've been using them for everything, for the touring and the dirt bikes, as we said, but I think that would be the category I would put these. So my final thoughts on the Fogy Garage Ursus Chief Gloves. They've got a whole heap of different models. I just liked this look. They are a quality craftsman made leather glove that carries the CE certification, so you've got the safety to go along with the retro aged leather look. I just love them. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you did, don't forget to give us the thumbs up and subscribe. But until next time, cheers.